Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff Pitch presented by Fantasy Phenom. I'm Kyle. That's Mike.
What's good?
Yo,
I'm back once again, man.
I was really hoping, I wanted to play that Guess Who's Back song as the intro,
Guess
but
who's back?
unfortunately it's
Back
copyrighted.
again.
Um,
Yeah, I know. I wrote that like 10 years ago, man, and I don't let anybody use it.
Because guess who's back, Mike?
Mike,
Guess who's back?
I am.
Nope,
That's what it's all
LeBron.
about.
LeBron is back.
Yeah. I don't think he's really ever went anywhere.
Facts, but
I would make the case that Kyrie's back
man,
more
LeBron,
than LeBron's back.
you're crazy,
But
man. You are crazy. LeBron went out, did his thing again, another triple-double. I think I got defriended a couple times on Facebook tonight. That's fun.
Facebook.
Take that broom and
Remember when I was in high school?
y'all can shove it somewhere else. LeBron, LeBron is back. Warriors and KD, I think both have been in a position where they were up 3-1 before. Trying to remember when, and it's not quite coming to mind.
I think it was last year.
I think it was, yeah, that's right.
It was
Bet.
last year. Yeah, so the basketball season, it seems like deja vu. It makes baseball season look like much more fun. As things change year after year, we've got, who knows what's going to happen this year in baseball.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Cavs
Cool.
and
That's
Warriors.
what's cool about this sport, man.
It'll be or whatever team LeBron is on, and the Warriors for the next 5 years. But that's
I'm
fine.
going to say the Cavs and Warriors in the World Series.
Bet. I will say.
I don't know.
I will say this though: if LeBron loses this series, MJ is back in the discussion for GOAT.
Oh my God.
Back in the discussion.
Right,
Back in the discussion.
I'll save everybody listening the sake of this argument because that's just retarded.
Mike, you are crazy. You a LeBron hater. I can tell already.
Goodness. I don't know how to respond to this nonsense.
I wouldn't either. Most people don't have a logical argument as to why LeBron's not the GOAT. Know what I mean?
Can we talk some baseball, man? Let's talk about today's slate, dude. Let's recap a bit. Top 5 pitchers on today's slate: Urban Santana, Jordan Montgomery, Wally Chacin, Alex Cobb, and Corey Kluber were your top 5 pitchers today. Interesting double dongs were Tyler Moore, who I punted him 2 days in a row and didn't do it today. Aaron Hicks, who I talked myself out of being like, he's not really this good. He's probably gonna cool down.
We were on Aaron Hicks.
Sure enough, double donged. And then a combined 7 steals between Cameron Maybin and Malik Smith.
Yo,
The top 2 scorers of all pitch players on the slate. I mean, what's going on?
Was that dude today? God, and I mentioned him to Theo too, and I was like, yo, Theo, this dude on the show. I was like, Theo, Malik Smith, 2K leading off, worth a punt. He's like, nah, I got my outfield stacked. And I was like, all right, bet.
Gotta be. Yeah, I mean, you look at his scouting report, right? He's only hit 3 career home runs, so
you're not
a little bit of something. No, but I mean, the point was him getting on base and stealing the bags. And I was talking to you about this earlier. I think with Kiermaier going down, they needed somebody to step into that role, and by putting him in the leadoff spot after Corey Dickerson's pretty much held it down, man. That shows me that they're trying to instill some confidence in this kid and be like, yo, you're our guy. I mean, because they're going to be out with Kiermaier for 2 months. So, yeah.
I agree.
I think this is the new spot for Alex Smith and Dickerson in the 2-hole, man.
And I'm telling you, again, it comes down to knowing when to punt, right? And this was another perfect opportunity to punt. You have a 2K guy leading off in an offense that has a lot of run potential. It just made sense, right? And again, a punt is you're throwing a dart, right? But it was a smart dart because it had more of a chance of going off than a 2K player that was down. Yeah. See what I did there?
I like that. A smart dart. Oh, yeah. Anyway, Yeah, man. I've 4 days in a row. I'm cashing. The key to it's been just getting my pitchers right. I don't know if it's just a combination of looking at the slate from every single day. I guarantee by August we're gonna have this down so well. It's not even just us. It's everyone that's part of this Phenom community because you play this stuff every day. You start to realize the trends. You start to realize where you're going before you even look anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been nice cruising this week. So excited for it to continue, man.
And I'm excited about this. I was telling you guys last night about the reverse line movement. Um, it missed, I believe, 3 plays today. So it called Detroit winning. I stacked Detroit. I was hyped AF in the beginning of the game when Nick Castellanos hit that home run. And then nothing else happened. So that sucked. It called Cleveland, which did win, but their offense didn't. I had Edwin Encarnacion and Carlos Santana split, and of course only one did something. It missed on the Twins badly. It had the Giants favored. In fact, there was a lot of money going to the Giants, so that sucked because I didn't play Santana for that.
Shut out.
For that reason. That's why I faded him. But I will say Wallace Chassin did go out and do his thing, so I'm not even mad. Because that allowed me to get the bats. So I'm still cashing in the late. I'm not even mad. I'm just, whatever. It missed that game. And then it missed the Rays game. It actually had some it was very minimal, but it did have some money going towards the A's. And that did not work out well at all. So.
Yeah, my pitchers today were mostly Kluber and Montgomery, and I had some Alex Cobb. So all 3 of those guys are top 5. So I did okay. I mean, I think 6 out of my 8 lineups cashed today, so it was nice. It was.
Mike said, told you I can't trust Cleveland. He's talking about the Indians, by the way. You can definitely trust LeBron for everything. That's not what he was saying. Don't worry, Mike.
I'm not worried about nothing, man. Jose Ramirez is heating up. Jason Kipnis has 7 home runs in his last 15 games or something like that. Jan Gomes on base 3 times tonight. So there were some plays, I think, out of that Cleveland stack. No one really went off other than Edwin Encarnacion because there were a lot of homers in the game, but he still scored 7 runs.
Bet, dude. I played Francisco Lindor. Solid 0.
Yeah, I had him too.
Super excited about that.
I had Kipnis, Gomes, Lindor, and Ramirez, and I had Lindor a lot of places. In my best lineup, I have a Lindor 0.
So I had a Lindor 0. I had a Bradley Zimmer 6.5 because he got a bases loaded walk, clutch, AF, helped me everywhere. And then Aaron Judge, dude, I played him in every single line I had today, Mike. What happened?
You didn't do it. You didn't do it, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. They've been pitching him outside. And I guess Bundy has late movement on his fastball that tails away to righties, and that's kind of the perfect pitch to get him out or initiate some weak contact off the end of the bat.
Nah, he needs to step his shit up.
I mean, can't win every night. Like you said in the beginning.
He's never going to be the next LeBron James if he doesn't learn how to hit those outside pitches.
Yeah, no. I guess not.
All right, Texas-Washington tomorrow. Early games, early slate. Go. What are you looking at?
This game's not on any slate on DraftKings at all.
Bet. Wonder if it's on FanDuel.
Should probably check that out.
I thought it was initially, but now you're making me second guess myself. Not me. It's on the all-day slate, so there's that.
That's good.
Oh, by the way, that's the other one. Vegas had all the money going on the under in this game, and Washington was one of the chalkiest stacks of the day. And I was like, fade.
I don't know why.
Fade.
That was easy for me because Cash. I said it in the group today. Cash has only given up 5 home runs all year. I don't like to stack big time on 14-game slates, so I'm looking for homers, and I'm not going to target a guy that
Same.
not giving them up. So
we were talking about that. Washington does not deserve to be chalked today. Cashner is not going to get blown up, right?
he had a good game actually.
I know. So I hope none of you
he was
guys.
6.
I hope none of you guys
6.
stacked.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't look much at this game to be honest with you, man. Let me pull it up here.
Well, I'll just give you initial
It's
thoughts.
Martin Perez. He's also a ground ball pitcher. Look at that fly ball versus lefties. I guess that's got to be a small sample because it's ridiculous. Gio. I like this two-man. I did this today. Odor and Lucroy. Very, very cheap on DraftKings. Both under 3K. Odor got me a nice cheap home run today. I don't know how I feel about the lefty, so I probably wouldn't go back there, but I don't know. Just wanted to point out that price.
How would you feel if I told you Rougned Odor doesn't have an extra base hit versus a lefty this year and 61 at bats?
I would believe it. He's probably also got He's probably also got 41 strikeouts. So,
yeah. Initial thoughts. I mean, I would look at Ryan Zimmerman as a one-off again versus lefty and Anthony Rendon. Maybe Matt Wieters for cheap, but that's all I'm going towards. Nothing else.
Yep. I didn't really look much at this game again. But it's an 8-game early slate on DraftKings, 6-game main slate, starting with this one here in Atlanta. Sean Newcomb making his major league debut. I posted a very lengthy and detailed article about him on my Twitter. If you want to check him out. Number 10 prospects in the Brave system. They traded him. They traded, who was it? Simmons for him. And over this past 8 starts or something, having a great little run here in AAA. He started the season poorly, but he's having a great little run here in AAA, enough to that they want to call him up. And I think this is the first time that Atlanta's really called up a pitcher. They have a lot of pitching depth in the minors. And so to choose him at this time, Barcola Clone on the make-believe DL, I could see this, obviously they got something riding on him. I don't think this is a spot start, is what I'm trying to say.
I got you. Another thing that was surprising again today, Mike, Vegas had this game trending under as well. So, and it went under. I know a lot of people were on a Met stack. I personally played them in one line as well, just because I wanted to attack Tehran. Didn't work. They're your
I had Conforto in 2 spots.
Same, I had Conforto. Granderson hit a home run, of course, because that's who everyone expected to. But
he's really hot, man. Again, he valued recent performance. Granderson is very hot right now. I don't think you play him against a lefty. I don't even know if the Mets play him against a lefty.
One before is the 2,800.
Cheap for sure, and he's also coming off a great May, continuing to be solid in June. I don't know. I don't really target the Mets versus lefties much. It is the ballpark to do it. I'm interested in Sean Newcomb, even though I've already made a rule I don't play pitchers in this park. But we've seen what top prospects have come up and done this season, in their first start. We talk about Brad Peacock and Nelson Lamet. I don't know. The list goes on. Jeff Hoffman, who's also on this slate. So I think at his price, it's a worthy punt. I mean, he's not like a schmuck. He's a top prospect. So, again, if you want to read more about him, the article also has videos of his pitches. So it's on my timeline on Twitter. I guess, what is it called? The feed? I don't know. I don't do social media much, but.
What happened to Brett Phillips today? Someone asked about him. Crispy asked, what happened to Brett Phillips?
Phillips, well, he was 1 for 4 with a run scored.
Bet. So he wasn't Malik Smith worthy.
Yeah, but if you want to compare scouting reports with Malik Smith, Brett Phillips is a much better DFS punt.
Nope, lies. Malik Smith.
I mean, he passes the eye test. The dude comes up. He's already in his first 2 starts. He's already got his 2 hits out of the way. You look at people get called up as top prospects that don't get the hits. He's already stretched a single into a double. He's thrown somebody out from center field that shouldn't have, was an incredible throw. He passes the eye test for sure. He also has legit power if you look at his minor league numbers. So I think when you look at a punt, top prospect coming up, has power. I think he's going to get it here soon.
All right, I'll give you that. Are you looking at second Atlanta versus Giselman?
I don't know, man. Giselman doesn't scare me. Inciarte is always intriguing, but that price is not. So I do like the fact that Matt Kemp is only $3,700 tomorrow. I don't understand that at all. That is just a cheap price for him that I'm looking at, maybe as a one-off.
It's fair. I think right now this is a game fade for me. I wasn't really looking at it.
Swanson's hot too. I think he's batting like 430 in his last 12 games or something. 8 games, sorry.
Yeah, Theo talked about him on the Lock Show as well today. The StatCast numbers indicate that he's going to get out of this slump soon. And he hit two-run home run or two-run double, one of the two?
2 doubles today.
There you go.
So
yeah. Oakland, Tampa. I believe this is one of the doubleheaders tomorrow. So actually, New York and Atlanta have a doubleheader, and Oakland and Tampa have a doubleheader. This pitching could change.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. So New York and Atlanta's playing at 10 Eastern and then 3 Eastern. Sorry, 10 Pacific and 3 Pacific. Oakland is playing at 11 Pacific, and they don't have a time yet for the second game. It looks like these are going to be the pitchers for this early game, Sonny Gray and Erasmo Ramirez, but we've seen how they flop their doubleheader pitchers around.
Right.
So
Right. Now, I don't see the second games or the night games on the slates at all. So I don't know. That's why I didn't know about the doubleheaders because I didn't see them on any of the DraftKings slates. The second game, at least.
I don't think they're not going to be on the main because what they might do is put out a separate slate to include those games because that's another opportunity for them to make money. So.
Yeah, just a 2-game afternoon slate or something like that.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So Rays versus Sonny Gray again, versus a righty again, I should say. I don't think they put up 13 runs again, but
yeah, no, they're not gonna do that again. Sonny Gray has been up and down. Sonny Gray has definitely been up and down this year. Definitely strikes out more batters than Andrew Triggs does, and that's kind of what you're looking at for a starter against Tampa. Someone has strikeout stuff, can get them to chase. So definitely in play. Not someone I'm targeting, or on either side. Whether to throw or to
stack
against. Obviously, Dickerson can hit against all righties. So. And Souza Jr. is pretty hot too at his price at DraftKings on 3,800.
And he's playing really well.
Absolute bomb right now, today. Absolute bomb.
I'm with you. And his price has dropped too. He was like 3,800 the other day on FanDuel. Now he's down to 32. I think if you're gonna, if Malik Smith starts again, he's 2K again. I don't care if he's chalk. I think him and Corey Dickerson are a perfect 2-man for Sonny Gray.
They are. Played it today. Worked out very nice.
You get the equivalent of an outfielder. Each is going to be 3K on FanDuel. I'd say that's a win for Corey Dickerson.
And I think you can go after Erasmo Ramirez. This guy's been up and down in the bullpen. It's obvious that this guy, they don't have a great starting pitching staff, and he didn't make it out of camp. They don't really want him in the staff, it seems like.
Yonder Alonso, Jed Lowry.
And he's primarily a fastball changeup guy. He throws a slider a little bit, and that's kind of what I look for against this Oakland team, to find cheap one-offs for homers, because that's what I regard them as, cheap one-offs for homers. And so
I'll give you the stats real quick.
Yeah.
Erasmo Ramirez throws a fastball 40% of the time, very much below average. He throws a changeup 25% of the time, and it is extremely above average. So interesting fact there. If you look at Oakland versus changeups, because obviously that's, if they can't hit it.
He doesn't have anything else besides a fastball. It's like a fastball changeup and then a slider every once in a while.
Yeah, slider's that's his third pitch, but it's very sparingly thrown, whatever you want to call it. Oakland destroys changeups for what it's worth. Rajai Davis has the best score on their team. Jed Lowry is the second best. Chris Davis, Trevor Plouffe, and Yonder Alonso. So I'm with you, man. They can definitely hit the fastball. They don't struggle with that at all, and that's one of his worst pitches. But the fact that they can hit his good pitch is a good sign to me.
Or you just think about it, like, it's not rocket science if his two main pitches are fastball changeup, which a lot of pitchers are. But if he doesn't really have, all he has like a show me slider, I'm pretty sure. And so if all he's got is that, they're both straight pitches, and these guys just want to hit them hard. So I think they're cheap homer potential. Ryan Healy is a guy that comes to mind. Yonder Alonso, yep.
Jed Lowry.
Chad Pinder, still really cheap as a punt option, I think.
Matt Joyce.
If he plays, yeah.
So I think there's options all over for Oakland tomorrow, and I think it's a good
Cheap
contrarian
homos.
stack. Yep, I think it's a good contrarian stack because I think everybody's going to go right back to Tampa. Recency bias.
Yeah.
Philly, St. Louis. Nick Pivetta and
Philadelphia.
Carlos Martinez. Bro, Carlos Martinez might just have to be a lock.
Yeah, you're paying up for that lock on DraftKings, though. I think an unnecessary amount of 12-7 tomorrow for Carlos Martinez on this early slate.
12-3.
12-3, sorry. So he's 2,300. I'm sorry. I can't read. $1,400 more than Jeff Samardzija, who's the second highest guy. Definitely has got the matchup. What? Obviously, walks are the problem with Martinez. He comes into this game coming off a somewhat poor performance by his standards. 6 and a third, 4 hits, 4 runs, 8 Ks. But still not bad in Cincinnati. So, yeah, I agree. I think 8-game slate, what we say, always pay up for pitching. So,
Yep.
against Philly, it makes sense.
And Philly has not been good either. Bottom 10 team in the last week versus righties in the last 3 games. Let me pull that up. They are. They're averaging under their season total, which is 4 runs per game. Their game before today was 1 run. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Altier and Kendrick were the guys that had not Kendrick. Morales, or no, yeah, it was Kendrick. I keep confusing Kendrys Morales and Howie Kendrick. Yeah, I think Kendrick and Altier were the guys that had a good game today. I think maybe I always try to give the option if you want to, put some guys in the lineup against the chalk. Those are 2 options I'm considering.
Yeah, no, you're not going to see me have any Phillies tomorrow. Carlos Martinez is going to be a lock for me. Him or Jose Barrios.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, but I don't think we're alone in a sense, so at a GPP perspective, I guess. And then going against Nick Pivetta, I think you got to look right back to Carpenter leading off, Steven Piscotty having a great month of June, just on fire. Ledmus Diaz hit a home run today. I think there's definitely some Cardinals bats that you can look at tomorrow.
I looked at Matt Carpenter. Although he's 3,300. Dexter Fowler's down to 2,900 on FanDuel. That's an intriguing play. Jed Gorko's 3,100. And like you said, Aledmus Diaz is 29. Colton Wong is back. He'll probably bat again in that 8 hole.
But I could see this game being just like it was today, 3-2. Something low scoring.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Jeff Hoffman versus Chicago tomorrow. Are you interested?
I don't know. I'm toying. I think I might be buying, man. Just because of its price on DraftKings, 6,700. I think if I'm paying down below Barrios and Martinez, it's probably this guy, or maybe the Sean Newcomb guy. You know what I mean? Those are probably the 4 guys that I looked at. Jeff Hoffman, last 2 starts, 30+ DK points. Again, they were at San Diego and at Philadelphia, so obviously you need to bear that in mind. The start before that was versus the Dodgers, and he did have 21 DraftKings points, and he struck out at least 7 in all 3 of those starts. But from watching him play, man, he's got really good stuff.
There's a reason he's one of their top prospects.
Right, and I think he's here to stay. So against Eddie Butler, who's been serviceable at best, for them.
Yeah.
I don't see Chicago riding Eddie Butler to the playoffs. I think, they're waiting for who's on the deal. Is it Hendricks?
Well, Hendricks is
they're either waiting for the Hendricks to come back or maybe to make a move at the deadline. But for right now, it's Butler, who again has been serviceable. So I think it's a winnable game for Colorado. If you factor that into when you're rostering a pitcher, which I think you can on FanDuel when you get a quality start and a win. I don't know. What do you think, man? It's definitely a risky play.
It is. I'm looking at his pitch arsenal, though. He throws a fastball 65% of the time, and he mixes it up with a very, very, very above average curveball and slider. His slider is actually the best on the slate. Granted, take that with a grain of salt. Limited sample size, and his
Yeah, 3
curveball.
starts.
His curveball is second best on the slate. Again, limited sample size. Looking at what the Cubs do versus these pitches. Gotta find this dude's name real quick. All right, so Cubs. Only 3 hit batters on the team are above average with fastball, and only 1 batter on the entire Cubs team, and that is Ben Zobrist, is above average at hitting the slider and curveball. All other batters are far below average this year.
Well, they're a really young team. I mean, obviously take Bryant and Rizzo out of it. So I think young teams it's tough for them to hit pitches with movement. Obviously Hoffman's a rookie, so something's gotta give. But I think he's showed me enough to put him in consideration today.
All right, so I'm taking that perspective because the young team. To me, it doesn't take away from the stats, right? Young team is young team. If they can't hit the pitch, to me it looks like Hoffman would be in play on initial readings.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, young players have struggled to hit off-speed pitches. They obviously look for fastballs from a generally speaking perspective.
Yep. Also, first time seeing him.
Right, exactly.
In his favor.
So we'll see what happens, man. I think everyone's sort of afraid to play the Cubs. Obviously, from playing DFS every day, I've done it a couple times, and you always get the guy low-owned, no matter who it is.
Facts. Miami-Pittsburgh. Straley and Trevor Williams. I can see why everyone would go right back to Miami again today. And on the flip, I'm looking. I think Dan Straley is in that price range that's going to be low-owned tomorrow.
Yeah, right in the mid-tier. Interesting play. I think obviously Straley's shown his strikeout upside, and it has really only come against really bad teams. For example, San Diego, Philadelphia. He's not really had double-digit strikeouts against a solid team. Pittsburgh doesn't strike out a ton. Obviously, that's what you're looking for in DFS. So I could see it. Obviously, it's only an 8-game slate. I mentioned my 4 guys, and he, I don't know, just kind of fell off. I think he could be a good pivot off of Jose Barrios.
What's Barrios' price on DraftKings?
79 to Straley's 82.
Wow. Well then, yeah, Straley's out of that. Just play Barrios instead.
Right. That's what I was thinking as well.
So yeah, no, I'm with you there. And Giants, I think Giants are the much worse offensive team. They're in a much more pitcher-friendly park. Barrios just makes too much sense for me in that.
Yep, I go back to JT Riddle, Tyler Moore 2-man stack, man. It's been making me some money this week, so I'm just gonna ride it until it doesn't.
Dude, do the stack around or the legit wraparound.
I did, man. I did today. I had Gordon State in a couple places too, and they both were top 20 scorers on this whole slate.
That's what I'm saying, dude. If you had Riddle, Moore, that was in the winning GPP lineup in my contest. Riddle, Moore,
man, I should have went to it.
Gordon and Stanton.
I broke it up most places. I didn't have all. I had Riddle, Gordon, and Stanton in one. I didn't have any Tyler Moore today. That's the problem. I just faded him because of. I was like, man, I got what I needed out of him last 2 days. I'm gonna fade it today. Sucks.
Yeah. Damn it.
Shouldn't have done it.
Why'd
I do that?
What I've been practicing with, or not practicing, but using the last couple of days, is all 4-man stacks. The only time I don't do a 4-man stack is if I can't, I literally just can't afford a player on that team, so I'll pick another player. Like, I had Aaron Judge as a one-off in 2 lineups today because I could not get to – it didn't make sense to not play him over someone else, or I couldn't afford some of the other guys. So I was like, all right, I'll just – because the players were cheaper, I just paid up to Judge. And it's I don't know. To me, I'm finding that strategy working more. I find the 2 games or the 2 teams I really love, and I just play the 4-man stacks against them. The hardest part is just finding the 4-man stacks, right? And obviously I played 5 lines tonight, so I had 5 stacks in general, and I mix and matched them in each line.
Oh, that's fair. I definitely know we talk about all the time. Stacking is important, especially on today's in a slate like today where you have 2 teams that score 12 runs or more. That's obviously going to win you the GPP.
Yep.
I've been cashing, on these big slates. What I tend to do is I build a player pool, and then I break it down by position, and then I start building my lineups. I generally build like at least build 5 lineups. Today I built 8. Sometimes I build 10. And I just take from the player pool based on what I have in salary. I don't really look to stack on a big slate, and it's been working. So I don't really want to change it. But on mini slates like tonight's 5-game or 6-game slate, I almost always figure out what my stacks are and lock them in, and then build around them. So that's how I've been doing stuff recently.
So Jose Barrios, a lot of price discrepancy here. 9,200 on FanDuel. Dan Straley's 85. So that's the reason I was considering Straley. On DraftKings, I don't see why you would. I would just pay down to Barrios. Giants are the definition of ass.
Yes.
They're just bad.
It is. Yeah, I think Barrios, the reason he's probably priced down a little bit, obviously, with the dynamic pricing, Barrios is coming off 2 substandard performances when it comes to, DFS. Like, if you looked at his 2 DK lines last 2 starts, you'd be like, I don't want that today. But dude's legit, man. He is. Look at the numbers versus his curveball. It's not good for opposing batters. I think obviously Eduardo Nunez is hot right now. How long that will last, I don't know.
Ex-Twins.
That is true. Ex-Yankees as well.
Doesn't matter.
Buster Posey's also obviously playing well, but I don't recommend paying up for your catcher.
I did that tonight, by the way. That worked well. He got 0 points.
I can see this being a pitcher's duel as well, though. I can see this being a pitcher's duel tomorrow. Samar just coming off his best start of the year in Milwaukee. I think it was in Milwaukee, yeah.
And he's at home where he pitches much better.
So, I don't know. I mean, what do you feel like? Can you make a case to come off of Martinez, save $1,500 and play Shark?
No.
I really think that on DraftKings with the the deflated Barrios price, that's going to be the cash plays are Martinez and Barrios. So I think in a tournament, I could see the option of playing Shark. Not only does it pivot off of Martinez's price, but it also pivots off of Barrios in a sense because they're playing each other, So the tournament play, I could see Shark tomorrow on DraftKings at least.
That's fair. I'm just going to pitch Barrios and be happy. They're the same exact price on FanDuel. Barrios and Shark. So if I'm picking between these two, I'll pick Barrios and go about my day.
That's nice. Yeah, I think you definitely pick one of these two then because whatever one you think is going to be higher owned is going to be the cash play. Whatever one you think is... Well, I guess you have Martinez too, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not good at FanDuel strategy. I'll tell you that right now. But I'll tell you on DraftKings, I think Shark makes a good DK play just as an ownership and a price pivot.
Okay, that's fair. For what it's worth, I'm not going to... This is a complete bat fade for me in this game.
Exactly.
Kansas City, San Diego, Ian Kennedy back in San Diego tomorrow. Are you buying it?
He's probably going to be happy to see San Diego again. But, yeah, I think you can. I'm not going to.
K upside.
Yeah, but if I'm going to go play the K upside game, I'd rather play Sonny Gray against Tampa Bay than Ian Kennedy against San Diego.
Not facts. Not facts. I'll play Kennedy versus San Diego before I play Sonny Gray versus Tampa.
Either way, it just sounds terrible. I mean, at least Sonny Gray's had like a top 3 DraftKings performance this season. Ian Kennedy hasn't had anything close. He's been very, very bad.
For what it's worth, though, was Jose Barrios is 7,900 on DraftKings?
Mm-hmm.
Ian Kennedy's 75. I'll take Barrios.
Yeah, it's not even close.
But worth looking at is all I'm saying. What about against Miguel Diaz?
So Miguel Diaz, man, get this.
I'm listening. Full ears.
He spent 4 seasons in the Brewers Rookie League, spent all of 2016 in Single A, and now he's pitching for the Padres.
Makes sense. Typically how that works, right? You go from Single A to the big leagues.
So he's a Rule 5 pick, I believe. They had him pitching out of the pen this year. I think he might have made a start, but he wasn't stretched out and only pitched like 3 innings. I think this is a full bullpen game for the Padres today.
You know what Miguel Diaz's story sounds like to me?
Sounds like hold on, Kenny Powers, man.
No, not even close. So
Definitely Kenny Powers.
there's this basketball player. He went straight from high school to the pros. Like skipped over the whole collegiate level. Kind of the same thing, going from single A to the majors.
Mm-hmm.
Someone like
J.R. Smith.
LeBron James, but close.
I was thinking more J.R. Smith.
But no, I'm not relating Miguel Diaz to LeBron. I got to get my LeBron jabs in while I can.
I'm pretty sure the Kenny Powers thing might work, man. You know, he got to the majors, pitched in the bullpen, then got banished to the Mexican League for a whole season, only to get another start with the worst team in baseball. I think they got some similarities, man. For what it's worth, man, this is again going to be a bullpen game, and the San Diego bullpen is
bad.
You know, they didn't really focus their payroll on the bullpen. Let's put it that. And they've got a lot of injuries to their bullpen as well. So
I'm looking at Hosmer. I'm looking at Perez. I'm looking at Moustakas. I'm looking at Jorge Bonifacio.
I think you got me there. I'm the same way. I'll second all these plays.
Bet.
Even though it's this ballpark, so I don't know if I want to fully stack here.
I'm just saying the plays I'm looking at.
Does give me some pause, but I think, the prices are cheap enough where I think Perez and Hosmer 2-man stack is definitely in play. And if you wanted to stack this game against the Padres bullpen game, I'm not gonna tell you no,
That's fair. And lastly, we got LA and Houston, Mike Fiers and Ricky Nolasco.
We playing Mike Fiers today, bro?
No. We're not.
Sure?
Dude.
Sure, he's been like an ace, dude.
Dude, another game. I'm telling you, this Vegas thing works, man. The money line was decreasing on Houston today. And bam, LA.
LA had an explosion. So they got that out of the way. So we got to play Mike Fiers, man. They got all their 8 runs out of the way.
No, you're not. Don't do that. They've been hot against righties as well. And that's the side Mike
Fiers 9 runs.
From. God damn it, Mike.
No, I'm just saying Mike Fiers has let me down because I've stacked against him the last 2 starts.
Mm-hmm.
And he has given up a total of 4 runs in those 2 starts. So, come on, Mike Fiers. Regress back to bad now.
I think I don't like. Here's the thing, man. What Angels are enticing tomorrow? That's the problem. Right? Like you look at the
you got the Maldonado punt. That's about it.
God damn it! I'm not playing
Cole
CJ
Calhoun was okay today, but his price on DraftKings is like, nah. When I can play Matt Kemp for $500 cheaper against Nick Pivetta. It's like, I don't know. I don't. The only play I want is Maldonado just because he's a punt at catcher that hits home runs every once in a while.
Let's see. Hold on. I want to read. I'm going to look at Mike Fiers' pitch arsenal, Mike, because...
Nah, just don't even bother. It's not fun.
He throws a fastball 41% of the time. It's bad. He throws a changeup 18% of the time. It's worse. He throws a curveball 18% of the time. It's bad, but less worse. And he throws a slider 9% of the time, and it's his worst pitch. So, looking at the Angels...
Yeah, he's bad, dude.
Yeah, they're bad. But
his middle name is Dumpster, I'm telling you.
The Angels don't hit any of those pitches well. So that's the problem. I know they've been hot as of late, but over the season. So I think we got to look at Maldonado. Like you said, Patrick Punt, but he's not as good as versus righties as he is versus lefties. I look at Albert Pujols, maybe 2,600. That's mad cheap. Anderson Simmons leading off is intriguing, and then Cole Calhoun. I know who's lefty, but I'm looking there.
Yeah, I think Calhoun is really the guy. Lefty. But on DraftKings, it's tough to pay for that. And Nolasco gives up a crap load of homers, too, against this Houston team. Obviously, you're paying up to get to. But I think this team's in play, once again, man, against Nolasco.
Their prices have dropped, Mike. It's a beautiful sight.
I mean,
Well, at least on FanDuel, maybe not
They've
on
dropped a
DraftKings.
little bit on DraftKings. Yeah, no, they have dropped a little bit. Correa's went from 56 to 52. Altuve went from 54 to 49.
Yeah.
Springer went from 56 to 54. So, but they're still very expensive on this short slate. So
If these three play tomorrow, Alex Bregman, Yuli Gurriel, and Jake Marisnick, that is your stack right there. Cheap stack from Houston.
yeah, I think Bregman's in play tomorrow. It's third base punt.
All right, so let's do that little recap thing. Give me your top three pitchers for the early and your top three to attack.
Yeah, my top three pitchers are Martinez, Berrios, and Hoffman. But I don't think I'm gonna be alone. Like I really think come tomorrow we're gonna find that that's going to be chalk. I think if you want to pivot in tournaments, I'm thinking about this Newcomb kid and I'm thinking about Samardzija, but not my favorite plays. Sometimes you gotta play those odds because in baseball anything can happen on any day, right? In tournaments. Top pitchers to attack tomorrow. I'm gonna go Robert Gazelman with these Braves. I'm gonna attack him. I'm going to attack Trevor Williams with Miami, who is hot.
Yep.
And I'm gonna attack San Diego with Kansas City and Miguel Diaz.
You're going super GPP tomorrow.
That's all I play, man.
No, I know, but I mean, you're like going super, like no chalk at all. Well, maybe Miami's chalk, but I'm with you on attacking Trevor Williams. I'm looking there. I'm going to attack Ricky Nascar with some Houston, and I'm going to attack Sonny Gray with Tampa tomorrow. I don't care if it's chalk. And then who am I pitching? Jose Berrios, Carlos Martinez, and yeah, I'll stick with the Jeff Hoffman call.
Yeah, let's get it, man. 8-gamer in the bag. Let's move on. A 6-game night slate.
All right, Chicago and Cleveland. David Holmberg making his third start, and Josh Tomlin, who is kind of who he is at this point. Very much can be blown up, but is attempting to pitch more to ground balls. I don't think he's
not much anymore, dude. It's creeping up.
Yeah, that's
it
what I'm
was
saying.
A lot better.
He's attempting to. He's not in play for me against Chicago though. I'm not gonna go that GPP.
I don't know. I think obviously it's a plus matchup for him. But you look at this slate, there's some high-priced pitching options. David Holmberg is a lefty against Cleveland. I think that benefits pretty much only Lindor and maybe Jose Ramirez. Everybody else is better against righties.
No, Jose Ramirez better versus righties as well.
So I said Jose Ramirez and Lindor.
No, I know.
Everybody else is... Oh, okay. Jose Ramirez is better versus righties?
Yeah, so don't play Jose Ramirez. His stats are actually awful versus lefties. He sucks from the right-handed side. Austin Jackson is worth looking at, though.
Cheap punt, I think, in the outfield. I agree. I just mentioned Ramirez because he's one of the hottest batters on that team right now. Something I value a lot. Yeah, I don't know that Holmberg is stretched out enough to really, pitch 100 pitches. I know Chicago does have a nice bullpen. They're not bad. The White Sox. So I don't know that I want to stack Cleveland today is what I'm trying to say, even though Holmberg making his third start. Tomlin, I think you can find some homers off him as well. I think you really could. It's just tough to figure out who you're going to find him from.
Well, I'll tell you this. On initial thought, this is a game fade for me. I'm definitely not playing the pitchers. I'm not going to go that GPP. And I don't like the bats enough to pay up for them in this spot. So...
Right. I think you can find some cheap homers, though. Like Matt Davidson comes to mind. It's a cheap homer, always. I think Jose Abreu is underpriced for what he is. So I will consider him tomorrow as well. So is Melky, dude. Melky is very underpriced.
That's fair. Baltimore, New York, Luis Severino. That is a play I'm looking at.
Yeah, both these pitchers just played each other. Actually, I don't know if they played each other, but they each played...
The team.
The team, right. Tillman got rocked 3 homers. I think 2 of them were Brett Gardner. 2 of them were. Well, I think Brett Gardner and Matt Holly both had 2 homers in that game.
Yep.
If you remember correctly. Tillman has had a home run problem this year. They're going to stick with him through it too because he's getting the money to be in this pitching staff. So shift from Camden Yards to Yankee Stadium doesn't really do him any favors, I don't think. And then Severino, man, has turned into the ace of this staff. It's crazy to say, but he really has.
You saying it's not CeCe?
It's not CeCe, man. It's awesome though because he's got the stuff. He's got nasty pitches, man. At Baltimore in that last start, struck out 8, had 27.5 DraftKings points. And if you look at he gave up 7 hits and 1 earned run, but if you look at the numbers behind that start, he had hit a BABIP of 389, and I think. And obviously that's saying something. That maybe those hits were unlucky. If you look at the hard contact rate in that start as well, even though he gave up 7 hits, had a hard contact rate of 11%.
Yeah, well, so I'll keep it easy. I'm not stacking Baltimore at all tomorrow. And if the big bats don't play again, then that makes it even easier. Luis Severino's not giving up hard contact. He's not giving up fly balls. And his strikeout numbers are through the roof. Baltimore also strikes out more than they should, so 0 issue playing Severino.
And sales slate as well. So
facts. As far as attacking Chris Tillman, your usual suspects: Brett Gardner, Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Didi Gregorius.
Also, from watching the games, Chase Headley.
I knew this was coming.
What?
I knew that was coming.
What, Chase?
You're going to talk about
I'm just saying. I hate Chase Headley, to be honest with you, man. I'm just saying he's very cheap. We always talk about punting the infield. So he's walked in 3 straight games, and that's a good sign. He had 2 walks today. When a guy's walking, he's obviously seeing pitches. So I'm just saying there's definitely something coming out of him soon. I don't know if it's now or later. Keep an eye on it for cheap.
Yeah, I'm not.
Scope hit a laser today, man. Wow. That was a bomb.
I won't play Chase Headley. No, thank you. Chris Sale versus Detroit. Now, Chris Sale has struggled, for Chris Sale standards, in 3 straight starts. And Detroit is the best hard contact team in the league versus Sale, who gives up some hard contact and fly balls. Does Detroit worry you tomorrow?
I mean, it's definitely a negative matchup for Chris Sale. So if this was a 15-game slate, it would be an easy fade, right? But it's not. It's a 6-game slate. He has pitched against Detroit this year and pitched well. So it's not as easy of a fade, but obviously when you compare his starts against the rest of the league, obviously this, again, is a negative matchup when you're talking about Detroit. So it does give me some reservation, especially on FanDuel if you only have 1 pitching slot.
See, what interests me is Detroit destroys breaking ball pitches. Their bread and butter is not on the fastball; it's on the breaking balls. And Chris Sale throws changeups and sliders heavy, over 50% of the time on those 2 pitches. So there's a lot of ambivalence towards pitching Chris Sale tomorrow.
Well, I mean, the changeup's not a breaking pitch, but I mean, his sliders is his out pitch. So if they can at least put the bat on the slider, then obviously you're avoiding strikeouts because you're making him have to throw extra pitches, right? So if they can foul off the slider instead of swing and miss, that makes Sale an easy fade for me.
Yeah, I won't. I don't know. Sale's not my number 1 pitcher as of right now. A lot can change in the leading days, but don't have Chris Sale in my initial roster build. Let's put it that way.
But again, it is only a 6-game slate, so it's not as easy of a fade as it would be if it was a full slate.
That's fair. The bats I'm looking at to target Sale if I'm going to tomorrow, and again, I think it's a very real possibility right now. Ian Kinsler, Nick Castellanos stays hot. If he's in that 2 hole again versus a lefty, I like it. JD Martinez, obviously, and Justin Upton. And you know what's even more intriguing right now? Mike, their prices are all dropped on FanDuel, like hardcore.
Yeah, I mean makes it
they're doing
very intriguing.
They're doing the Clayton Kershaw treatment. So Ian Kinsler 2,500, Castellanos 2,500, JD 25, Justin Upton 25.
I don't know. I stay away from Upton. I mean, they're both Sale against Upton and just screams strikeout to me.
It also screams a possible home run, Mike.
Nah, it screams more strikeout to me. Top strikeout pitcher against a top strikeout batter. I don't know.
I'll play Upton. I'll do it.
Have fun, man. 4,200 on DraftKings. There's no way.
Well, yeah, on FanDuel, 25. That's what I'm saying on FanDuel. These guys are just way too cheap.
I would rather play JD Martinez on FanDuel at the same price.
I'm gonna play all 4, Mike. JD, Justin Upton, Ian Kinsler, and Nick Castellanos.
That's just not smart, man.
All right, bet. Let's see.
Stacking against Chris Sale.
Initial thoughts.
We've had brighter moments.
Initial thoughts. We'll see what happens. I'm just saying that's where I'm looking right now. I like Severino.
You're gonna have like $6,000 left over if you fade Sale and stack Detroit.
That's fine. I'll find all the hot bats in this Milwaukee-Arizona game. Zach Godley and Junior Guerra.
Yeah, I don't really want to pitch either of these guys. I think they're both fades for me. I know Godley's gonna get some intrigue tomorrow, but both these teams are hot from behind the plate, and it's in Arizona. So I'm gonna fade these pitchers again. I think Godley will get some looks tomorrow, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't think Travis Shaw probably won't be back tomorrow, so we'll just scratch him now. But Eric Sogard leading off, Eric Thames, Domingo Santana. I'll take all of that versus Zach Godley. Again, this spark is too good to fade for me. And then versus the righty again tomorrow, Jake Lamb. Yes, please. 4,100. That's doable. Brandon Drury's down to 2,200 again. Love it. And Gregor Blanco's 35. Paul Goldschmidt's down to 46 now. So now he's in playing range.
Yeah, I like both these sides. I mean, obviously you're paying up if you want to stack this game for sure, which would probably require you fading Chris Sale. So that's, I think, a place where a lot of people are going to go if they fade Chris Sale. And again, I think Milwaukee's going to be under-owned because of Godley's, I think, the season he's had this year. Domingo Santana is hot. I look at him. Eric Sogard's been getting on base very frequently, it seems like.
Eric Thames is heating up.
Yep, I think this whole team is heating up. So
Perfect
I think this is a good spot for this.
I just think this is a full game stack, Mark, especially on a 6-game slate. I don't think you need to get cute here. It's probably...
Yeah, I totally agree.
Probably hands down the best offensive park. New York comes in as a close second, but I'm not stacking against Severino. So Yankees are obviously in play, but yeah, I love this for a game stack. I can go 8 deep on this game and then pitch Severino.
Yep, I agree, man. Again, it's just going to require you fading Chris Sale. Just to point it out.
Alex Wood.
To those listening.
Alex Wood and Mike Wazowski tomorrow.
Mike Wazowski. Alex Wood obviously missed two starts, I believe. He had the elbow surgery last summer and was having some shoulder tightness, so I think it was more of a precautionary thing. I don't think he did any rehab or anything. He just did extended bullpens and things like that. So we'll see. There's been a lot of hoopla. They have pitching depth, so maybe they're just kind of skipping starts with a lot of these guys every once in a while just to keep them healthy and saying they are, hurt.
Maeda came out of the bullpen tonight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Wood, though, it's more precautionary than the others, obviously, just because of how awesome he's been. So we'll see where they're at as far as how much they're going to pitch him. Haven't found anything today to suggest a pitch count, but we know with the Dodgers how they play it.
That's
That being said, Wood has been an all-star caliber player this season.
You could make the case for Wood having the best stuff of the year so far.
Definitely the most surprise stuff. I don't think he's been the best pitcher in baseball.
I said stuff. I didn't say stats.
Well, I mean, I think Kershaw's got better stuff than Wood, but I think surprise.
No.
You're gonna lose that argument any day, so you can keep trying. He's definitely been a surprise coming off surgery, though.
I love Alex Wood, though. This dude is the only other player that I really look at that has the same stats line as Alex Wood is Lance McCullers, right? The elite ground ball rate with the incredibly high K upside.
Exactly. The problem is do they let him pitch?
That's where I was going to go.
They don't really need to, man.
So, maybe he goes 5-6 innings, 6 at most, I imagine. I don't see them pushing it to 7. They don't need to. Their bullpen is one of the best in the game. I agree with you. I don't think you see more than 6 innings tomorrow out of him, and that's concerning.
You haven't seen more than 6 innings out of him all year, though, and he's still put up big numbers. He's actually only gotten more than 6 one time this entire season, and he's still putting up big numbers. And I think on a short slate, 6 games, it doesn't bother me as much as if it was a big slate, you know?
That's fair. I don't know. I'm toying with it right now. My gut still leans me towards Severino, but again, things change. I will have a final answer for you guys tomorrow, but I
like them both, man. I feel like people are going to talk themselves out of Alex Wood tomorrow, and he's a perfect pivot off Severino. I think they both have similar upside on the day. So,
what about Dodgers against Mike?
Yeah, definitely in play. Obviously, this Dodgers team can score runs like the best of them. So, Mr. Wazowski came off a pretty good start, actually. I think he got the win in that last start that we were trying to stack against him, if I'm not mistaken, against the Cardinals. So
he did.
That surprised me. Maybe he could surprise me again. I think we could easily see, a crooked number put up on him, though. I think their bullpen got taxed today, too, because Garrett left.
Second inning.
So obviously you got to keep that in mind today. So I think the Dodgers are in play with poor pitcher, weak bullpen, for sure.
Yeah, I don't. They're not my favorite stack right now. We'll see. And then lastly, Toronto and Seattle. Ariel Miranda went out and had a beautiful game versus Tampa Bay last time. I don't know if he's in the similar spot per se versus Toronto. Not necessarily the team I want to attack. And then on the flip, Marcus Stroman, ground ball pitcher with some K upside in a beautifully constructed pitcher's park.
Not really high on Stroman, to be honest with you. I don't think he has the upside that I'm looking for if I'm paying up for pitcher today. I think I'd rather just pay up $800 more to get to Wood or the $1,200 to get to Severino. But you hit on the head. I mean, he's in a good spot. Seattle's not been good this year, so I think he could be sneaky tomorrow. Ariel Miranda, the Mermaid, pitched well against Tampa Bay. That's not a surprise. Obviously, he's got K stuff. He's got a lot of swing and miss stuff. So that's the kind of pitcher you want against a team that swings and misses a lot. Toronto, on the other hand, a little bit more disciplined. What do you think?
I agree. I don't think on this slate with the other pitching options, Miranda will make my list as a final candidate.
Tulowitzki is still very, very cheap on DraftKings. That can't last very long. Kendrys Morales is another really cheap. Wow, Jose Bautista at $3,400. Is that right?
Yep, Morales is at $3K.
So this is a very cheap stack tomorrow for Toronto. on DraftKings.
Yeah, I feel it, dude. I'm interested. I don't find myself on Miranda, at least on FanDuel. Maybe on DraftKings I can look at it from an SP2. But from FanDuel with the other options, I would pitch Alex Wood over him. Especially, I would pitch Luis Severino, Chris Sale, even with Sale's spot. I mean, I don't know if I can completely fade him tomorrow. So with him automatically coming in fourth, on FanDuel I don't need that many pitchers. So I don't think he makes my final cut.
That's fair.
Right
Yeah.
now.
I don't think he pays mine either. Again, I'm thinking about that's a cheap stack, man. I think if you're playing Chris Sale on DraftKings, that's a good hitting team. It's too cheap in my opinion.
Yeah.
Other than Smoke, who is probably the best guy, probably the guy you want. He's the only guy that's priced up, and Donaldson, but yeah.
All right. So what are your three pitchers on the slate, Mike? And who are the three you're attacking?
All right. I am going to attack Mike Wazowski with the Dodgers and the bullpen. I'm also going to attack Zach Godley because I think people are going to be on him, and I really like Milwaukee. And I am going to attack. This last one's tough. I think it's going to be Tillman, though, with the Yanks. And then the guys I'm going to pitch tomorrow, I can see myself going a lot of Severino and Alex Wood on DraftKings. Playing both those guys. No one I really want to pay down to at pitching, so I'm going to stick with the top three guys with Sale, Severino, and Wood. But I think if I was to give an option of who to pay down to,
you take Wood?
I would. No, I think I'm going to roll the dice. Wood's he's the third highest.
Oh, gotcha.
So Sale, Severino, and Wood are the three highest price options. And I'm going to try and stick to my player pool or my lineups being built around those three guys. But if I was to pay down tomorrow just to give an option, I think I'll roll the dice with Josh Tomlin against the White Sox.
I can't do that.
I mean, who else would you rather pay down to, though?
I'd rather pay down to Zach Godley, to be honest with you.
Okay. They're both right neck and neck in price, and I think everyone's going to be on Godley, so I guess it's more of my tournament
pivot
way of thinking. Yeah.
So my three pitchers to pitch obviously are Sale, Wood, and Severino. Mentioned those three already. The three I'm going to attack are going to be Guerra with Arizona. Definitely Tillman with New York. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to attack Mike Wazowski or Ariel Miranda or even Chris Sale with Detroit bats because they're so cheap. So
right.
Those are three that I'm considering.
What expensive stack? You said you like to do 2 4-mans. I imagine you'd want an expensive 4-man stack to kind of go with the cheap Detroit stack. Which one would you choose?
Arizona. So I can obviously pay for Goldschmidt. It would involve me fading Castellanos to get Jake Lamb because I think I would much rather play Jake Lamb in this park than Castellanos for Sale. I'd get JD and Justin Upton. I can probably pay for Chris Owens at $3,200. And then I would have Ian Kinsler. I'll probably play James McCann as a catcher punt. And then the other guys. Justin Upton, JD.
Yeah, we'll see where I go. I don't think I'm going to be playing much early slate, obviously. Working in 4 hours, so I probably won't have the time to put together some lines. So I'll be playing mostly late slate, to be honest with you guys. I'll definitely have a lineup on the early just to make sure that I play, keep up with it all. But most of my time will be spent working on tomorrow's late, or I guess main slate. So I'll be in the community. I'll be on Twitter. Again, I posted that article about, who was it? Newcomb.
I haven't seen it yet.
If you want to check that out. Yeah, it's a very lengthy article if you want to read about Sean Newcomb. But yeah, check it out. But yeah, that's where I'm at today. Another successful day. Make it 5 in a row tomorrow.
Yes, sir. So All right, guys. We'll have a wonderful night or day, depending on when you're listening. We will see you guys on. Well, I'll see you guys on the pre-lock show tomorrow. I'll be going solo, as far as I know. I know Mike's working, and Theo is going to be drunk at a future concert. So,
Goodness.
we'll see if Jeremy's around. Maybe he'll hop on with me. But other than that, I will. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll give you guys my final takes and obviously any noticeable Vegas trends I see. So, good luck tomorrow, and have a good one.